the UFC's People's Champ.
Head kick for Whittaker, follows it up with a straight right.
Robert Whittaker.
He's one of these guys that can face every style at any time because striking is his comfort zone.
Robert was born in New Zealand but now calls Australia home. He became the country's first UFC champion in 2017.
Middleweight champion of the world, Robert Whittaker.
Earlier this month, Robert took to the octagon right here in Australia.
This is UFC 243, Whittaker versus Adesanya. There is so much love in this building and around the world for you, and we know you'll be back strong.
Honestly, this is the best I've ever felt. Didn't get the W today, but I'm not going anywhere.
And he's just about to embark on an up-close and personal speaking tour of the country in November and December. Please welcome to the show,
The Reaper,
Robert Whittaker.
Hello, Robert. How are you?
Good, mate. Thanks,
That's
guys.
the way, mate. Thank you for swinging by.
Yeah.
We've got a bit to get through with you. It's a very interesting backstory we want to get through. Firstly, bad luck on the middleweight title, but you ran into a very good
Yeah.
fighter on the day.
Yeah,
he was in absolute mint condition. Yeah.
Hats off to him. You know, I came in there feeling absolutely amazing, and then got caught and took the loss. So
You look all right. So you recovered well. Did it take long to get back in?
No,
Shape?
nothing but bumps and bruises. You know, a little bit of hurt ego. But
What was it like fighting in front of, was it 57, like so many people, 57,000? Was that a
I think it's the
Yeah,
biggest.
it was-
I think it's the biggest UFC
I mean, that
crowd
was-
to date.
Was it distracting or was it inspiring?
no, we made history that card. So it was absolutely unreal to walk out and to feel the love of the fans. It was a moment I'll never forget.
What song do you walk out to?
K-San.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
for
that's
you.
right.
Good.
Great.
Honestly, that's one of my most memorable moments ever.
Oh, wonderful.
Do you think they'll ever have like a celebrity UFC before
Please
the
do
main
not
fight?
suggest yourself.
No,
I'm certainly interested.
I
mate.
want to fight Matt Preston
Oh,
in the octagon, and we will do it. You got two little boys and a young girl. Is that
Yes.
right?
is that why you're going on tour? So to get out of the house, they're very little, and that's a busy household you've got.
They're
Yeah,
very
it is a
little. When
nightmare.
when will you put them? When will they? Can they learn martial arts or mixed martial arts?
As soon as they start to listen, they're little terrorists. It's hard to tie them down.
And you say they mimic you, and they obviously see you training, and they watch you, and they throw little kicks at you.
100%. My
That's
little boy's been
fantastic.
throwing right hooks at me since he was 2.
Yeah, interesting. My boys wait till I fall asleep, then they shave my legs. So they're working
as
a
they
different
should.
side to the street, really, aren't they?
Robert, when you walked in, and you have one of the things I first noticed, apart from how fit you are your manners, and it was really great to you. Went and shook hands with everyone in the studio and out there, which I really respect. And also, you're not known for being sort of a trash talker. Does that throw people as well? That you're sort of the smiling assassin?
I think the people that really try to bank heavily on disliking their opponents, that certainly throws them off. But for me, like what happens on the field stays on the field. That's the sort of mentality I grew up with, and that's what I got.
Who did you admire as a fighter when you before you took the plunge yourself?
Mate, I was never really into watching a lot of fights. You know, obviously, I think like growing up and watching John Wayne Parr and Zambitis and guys like that, like
Yes.
the old Australian kickboxing.
And was
always
that your
been-
dad who introduced you to that world?
Yeah, like he introduced me to watching some kickboxing, but
Yep.
my parents got me into karate and I just love combat sports. I've just ran away with it.
So let's talk about your family. And the reason we have you on today, apart from the fact that you're a national icon and GQ Sportsman of the Year last year, there's many reasons to talk to you. But we at Triple M are part of a presents of your up close and personal tour, which I imagine is a talking tour from you, where you get up and talk about your life and where you've come from and how you got where you are.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's a story, I guess, from about my life, about how I got to where I am, how I got to a world title with the resources that I was.
And where did you start from? Just a quick précis, if we could. So
Yeah, so you know, I grew up with a split family, housing commission, alcoholism throughout the family, mental illness throughout the family, and yeah, you know, it was a little bumpy.
Was
But,
that? Well, how about your school life? Is it this time you're at school?
Yeah, certainly. You know, I think like growing up in poverty certainly has a stigma attached to it. So, and I tell you what, kids are ruthless.
Wow. So you copped it.
that is a very good observation. Kids haven't learnt the nuances.
Was there any
of-
teachers or anyone that stood out that sort of saw something in you? Did you have anyone?
There were certainly some teachers that could tell that I had some sort of talent and would always put me on the football team. But
But more than that, sort of took you under your wing a bit, or
Looking reflectively, I can see the teachers that tried to do that. But unfortunately, growing up with the stigma of poverty and stuff, you kind of get swept into a sort of disgruntled crowd. So I was a bit of a pain in the ass.
So you learned to fight to defend yourself, to protect yourself?
Yeah. So my parents put me in for self-defense, and then I kind of, coming from poverty, I found that I had to try to identify myself in something away from poverty, And
have you ever been involved in the gang culture? Have you ever been running with a crowd, or have you always been a fiercely independent?
Yeah,
type?
no, I was very fortunate that because there was a lot of guys that I grew up with, in the townhouses in the housing commission, like that have took that path. But I was fortunate enough to have sports and to have the team sports of football as well as martial arts.
And what was the switch when you decided, I think I can make a go of this as a profession?
Honestly, growing up with my history, my upbringing, it wasn't until I had actually gotten into the UFC where I was like, maybe I can do this for a living.
What about mental health as well? How have you been coping with that?
Yeah, so mental health is a big talking point for me as well, because depression and a lot of other mental issues run throughout my family. And
can we come back and talk to you some more about that? Because I think our audience in particular are very interested. We're talking to Robert Whittaker. You're listening to Kennedy Molloy. We are talking to Robert Whittaker, who's on the eve of his up close and personal tour. It'll be a fascinating chat about his life to date. We've got the dates. We're going to put the dates on our website, but QPAC in Brisbane will be a great gig. Star, Gold Coast, awesome. Civic Theatre, Newcastle. These are all good theatres, by the way. If you live in these local areas, get out there and say hello. West Point Casino, Palms at Crown, Thebarton Theatre, Adelaide, the Enmore, Sydney, and on. We'll post all those dates. You mentioned your battles with mental health, and this is something that particularly is of interest to our audience, who are younger, largely male. What advice do you give people out there who you think are maybe struggling with this?
Honestly, if you're not into sports, try to get into some form of sports, and find one that.
And why is that? Do you think there's a nexus between physical and mental health?
There is a scientific attachment to those two things. So, your mental health, your mental health is directly affected by your physical health, and vice versa. But I think moving and exercising, it chemically helps you balance. It produces very positive chemicals that help you just make things better.
Yeah.
What was the motivation for you? Did you speak with someone? Did something finally happen in your life where you thought, I've really got to just and it takes a lot of guts to reach out for help?
Yeah. Well, the thing is and me personally, I've only identified this maybe in the last year. It's something that I've always had that I kind of just rid off as who I am, and until people around me, people that I've surrounded myself with, say, "Hold on, why do you keep falling off the rail at these times?" And then I had to look back, and then you start identifying the symptoms, and then you're like, "Wow, this happens to everybody."
So up close and personal, it's your journey through life. It's as we said, it starts from a fairly low base. But I tell you what, you've done a great job and you've really stuck at it. And you might have been kicking into a fair breeze, but you've got a beautiful wife and 3 beautiful kids. You're a champion of your sport, and you're out there now on the road helping other people. It's a pretty good story. Yeah. You should be very proud of yourself.
And also, you I don't know. I know that you're fighting, but you got a very pretty face. And how come your teeth are so perfect?
She never says this to me. She's never said this to me once. I work with her every day.
My teeth aren't perfect, actually. This.
Really? Oh no, but I can't see that. They're in good nick from this angle. Don't give it away, mate.
Hey, what do you do? What's the plans UFC wise? So you're gonna take your time. You're gonna get straight back in there. What's the plan?
I just jumped back into the gym as soon as I could. The last fight, disappointing as it was, I'm very excited. I'm excited for the next chapter.
Fantastic.
I'm hungrier than ever. This weekend I'm competing at Pan-Pacs down here in Melbourne, so I'm super pumped to jump into that.
Yep.
And probably looking February, March next year to try and get back in there and get to work.
We'll be rooting for you. I'll tell you what.
I'll see you down the gym.
I'll see you on the mats tomorrow, mate.
I'll see you on the mats. Bring your A game, Whittaker. Hey, thanks for swinging by.
Yeah.
Where are the dates?
You can see all of the dates for Triple M Presents Up and Close Personal Tour with Robert Whittaker at www.robertwhittaker, that's 2ts.co/events.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for swinging by.
Thank you so much for having me.